What we're talking about is people who are afraid to ask for money, afraid to sell themselves at the actual value that they're worth. If I am a designer and I have a $30,000 project and I cheapen it down to $20,000 so I get the business, so I get the close, guess what? You failed. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Wintereg. I'm joined by Dr. Greg Wintereg. And today we're gonna tackle a topic that we've covered in several different ways over the last 8-9 months or so.
And here comes the next iteration.
And we're gonna do it again. This might be your first time seeing us talking about this or whatever, but basically the idea that we're gonna talk about here, and this was spurred by a comment that we got on some of our social media stuff that we've been putting out there. And it just shows the confusion that people have between the difference between marketing and selling. Marketing is not selling, and selling is not marketing. They are two different columns of business. You use marketing to generate interest and reach into your main service line, and people have become convinced based off of Lexus, based off of Mercedes, based off of Amazon, based off of Madison Avenue marketing, which does not work, that selling and marketing are the same thing. That you run an ad and then money just comes into your bank account and people just call your office and want to buy your product.
Well, and it's gotten so confused now that many companies have a director of sales and marketing.
Yes.
But they're two different things.
Completely different functions.
So let's dive into this comment. I think this is where it really becomes...
So we did a video talking about, why discounts are harming your brand. And we got a comment from somebody who was talking about this, and it says, it's not accurate in my mind to say a discount hurts your brand in relation to, let's say, new customer specials. Lexus, for example, runs discounts like crazy for new customers. These are marketing promotions, aren't harming the Lexus brand nor reflecting a lack of quality in the slightest. They give a reason to consider them over the competition. And so it goes on to talk about other different things. So we're not saying don't run a special. I'm not saying that you can't have some sort of a new customer discount.
Right.
I think right now Chevrolet will offer a $3,500 discount for people who currently own a Mustang or lease a Mustang. So it's a way of offering them to come in and instead of buying a Mustang, you buy a Camaro. Okay, that's an enticement. That's some sort of a thing that you get to
so
offer
marketing's
to come in.
job is to bring somebody in.
Yes.
To create a reach. A phone call, an email, a text message, or walking in the front door. That's what marketing is.
Yes.
It's packaging it up. It's part of the brand. It's attracting attention so that somebody reaches.
Yes. That's what marketing is there to do. It's to create somebody walking into that dealership and saying, hey, I heard you've got a $3,500 off thing for people who own a Mustang or whatever it might be.
Right.
It's now up to the sales department's job to sell the product or service. Now, what we're specifically talking about in the video that we did that got some reaction is that what we're saying is that it's okay to offer a discount on something. It's okay to offer some sort of an enticement or a new customer special or a, hey, if you pay in full, we offer a 3% discount. That's totally fine. What we're talking about is people who are afraid to ask for money, afraid to sell themselves at the actual value that they're worth. If I am a designer and I have a $30,000 project and I cheapen it down to $20,000 so I get the business, so I get the close, guess what? You failed.
Yeah.
And that is what we're trying to talk about here. Marketing and selling are different functions of a business. They work hand in hand, but if you can't sell, don't market.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You're wasting your marketing dollars if you think that sales and marketing are the same thing. Now, like I've said before, if I'm selling chapstick on Amazon, then yes, it's totally up to how well I can entice people to come in and buy my product and do that. That's not what we're talking about here, okay?
Yep.
I'm going on a little bit of a rant because
Not you.
This person's talking about, let's say you were a dentist.
Yeah.
So let's talk about medicine or whatever. I'm looking for eyeglass surgery or, LASIK surgery.
Let's say LASIK.
Yeah. And somebody says free consultation. And somebody else has a $200 consultation for LASIK. Okay. I might go to the place that's offering me a free consultation for my LASIK, but they might be more expensive
In the
then
end.
the place, yes. But
Yeah.
I might say, man, I really like you guys. And they know that if they offer a free consultation, they're going to sell more. So they don't have a problem offering a free consultation.
And let's stick with that. So let's say you have a free consultation for LASIK and the procedure is $5,000.
Yep.
And I know that it's much less than that, but let's
Yep.
just stick with this. So
Even
it's
numbers.
Yeah. So it's $5,000 for LASIK surgery. Now the person like, oh wow, that's a lot of money. You know what? If you just go ahead and do it today, I'll do it for $2,500.
Boom.
That's not marketing.
Now you've cheapened your product.
You've just cheapened your brand.
Yes.
And like I said before in this video that we're getting the comment on, you say it's 5,000 and somebody
Because it's the best in the business.
best, and yeah,
we have the newest
care of
machinery.
you.
It's amazing.
Exactly. We got a $2 million machine. It's the only one in the state, and then it's $5,000. And then somebody goes, "Oh wow, that's a lot. Can you do it for $2,500?" And you go, "Oh yeah, sure. Sold to the lowest bidder." That just lets that person know that everybody who's paying $5,000 is being ripped off. That happens because you can't close.
Yes.
That is a flunk on the sales process.
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to use this video now and this comment to distinguish the difference between marketing and sales.
Yes. Now, some organizations are only motivated by making the smallest amount of profit off of the most amount of people coming in their doors.
And that's a model.
And that's a model. Yes, at that point in time, you are trying to just get as many people to come in because you know that if every person who comes into this, let's say the eye clinic again,
Yeah.
okay? Let's say everybody does that $2,500 and they take all the insurances and they know that at the end of it, they're gonna make $300 a procedure. Okay, at that point in time, it's, okay, how can I get so many people to come in every day to make $300 a procedure to make a blah, 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 blah. Okay, then yes, at that point in time, you've cheapened your product down to the point that marketing is doing your selling for you.
But then don't tell anybody it's worth $5,000.
Yes.
If you know you're selling it for $2,500,
This is normally 5,000,
Right.
but today we do it for 2,500.
yeah.
Okay, that's BS.
That's a lie and a con.
Yes, and that's different from Lexus. That is different
Totally.
from Chevrolet.
Totally.
You know, at different times of the year, for instance, to stick with cars, you know, you might be able to buy a Corvette in New York State for a lot cheaper than in Florida because in the wintertime, nobody's driving their Corvette. So they're sitting there and they need to get rid of it. That's a supply and demand issue.
Right.
And that's when it's a good time to buy that car.
Exactly.
Okay, that is different. They're not cheapening the Corvette at that point. It's just,
Exactly.
it's sitting there taking up space. They need to get rid of it. This is different from me selling a custom table and saying, this is a $30,000 table.
This table.
Yeah.
It's a concrete table.
This is a concrete table and it's
Yeah.
expensive, but for you, I'll give it to you for $5. That's desperation. That's the inability to actually sell.
Yep.
That's desperation. That's fear.
Yeah.
Right? That's,
And we have also seen sales reps who cannot close will always blame marketing.
they will always tell marketing
Bringing
is
us
doing
crappy
it wrong.
leads. These people have no money. It's
Oh,
the
it's also
marketing.
too expensive.
Oh, and we're charging way too much. We're
Yeah.
charging way more than our competitors, and I can't sell it at this, and it's the CEO's problem.
Yeah. At that point,
You just can't close,
You fire
dude.
the salesman.
You can't close.
He's unable to sell.
You don't believe in the product. You don't believe in the service. You don't believe that it's worth that. Any rep who says that wouldn't pay for that.
Yeah.
They would never do it themselves. So again, it's just an inability to sell. It's not believing in the product or service, and it's just blaming then marketing.
Yeah.
And it's a cop out.
In a corporate arena of some sort, yes, what we're talking about won't work.
Right.
Because they can't think for themselves and it's all dumbed down to just answer the phones and do this and do that. We're talking about a private business owner.
Yep.
We're talking about a smart business owner.
Yep.
We're not talking about robots.
You got it.
So that's our take on that. We went on a little bit too long maybe, but I just wanted to comment on it because selling, when we talk about selling, people think we're talking about Black Friday,
Right.
that we're talking about Cyber Monday, that we're talking about selling bed sheets on Amazon.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about. I am here for the people that are out there actually using sales techniques and being professionals at it, not cheap gimmicky marketing tools to try and make a buck.
You got it. And that's
So,
the difference.
That's the difference. Leave your comments down below. Tell us how dumb we are. We'll see you next time.